Good afternoon. Welcome back once again, 2 p.m. with The Trigger, streaming live on multiple channels to help you shine on camera, shine on stage, elevate you and your brand authority. Yes, we help you learn how to leverage media. In fact, we help you build your own streaming TV shows because there's the power of media at your fingertips like never, ever before. So most days we come here to share and impart and teach you some things to help you better leverage you and your brand. And of course, we're always here to help you out. One of the hardest things in anything I do each and every week, no matter what, it's you got to go get another guest. You got to always stay ahead. You got to go find another guest and another guest. The number one reason podcasters, streaming people give up on their content is getting guests, filling the slots is exhausting and not always easy. You're working with schedules, you're working with time zones, and sometimes you're under a pressure to have another show with another show. Show running is not easy. And the number one tip I'll give you right now, the number one tip about how to secure rock star lineup special guests, how to get the best of the best of the best, is build a team around you. Well, you will actually have people that are showrunners and show producers that will help you go get the guests you want. Now, that's the biggest tip I can give you up front. Get that person that will go on your request, invite great guests. Now, before you just go off and go do that, let's help you set the table so you have that right person go off and do the right work for you. As always, drop in the chat, ask me a question, give us some love today, but we're here to help you to secure rock star lineup guests for your show, whether it's podcast, whether it's TV. So here you go with tip number one of the day is target research. Oh, actually, I went to the wrong one. Well, okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, team. We'll go to the crafting that compelling pitch. First of all, we're going to go there. Crafting that compelling pitch. You do want them to know what your show's about, who you are, what your own personal credits, what you've achieved with the show. It's really important to maybe even send them an example. And yes, give them the best example you can and give them it's a home run show. The guest was amazing. The topic was amazing. It was electric and people felt it. You want to show your guest, this is the type of show that you host. This is the type of character and reach of this show. You want to make sure you do that. Craft a compelling pitch. Show that you're really good at being an interview. I've been considered a master interview for years. Now, not everyone is, but you're working on it. You're working on it. That's why we're here 2 p.m. to help you learn these skills. But if you want to get great guests, you're going to want to have to craft that compelling pitch because people get requests now all the time for podcast streaming shows, newspaper interviews, magazine interviews, blog interviews. It's easy to get an interview. As a showrunner, as a producer, as a host, it's not always easy to get the right, great guest. But to elevate your brand, to elevate your target reach, you want to make it clear, here's what we do, here's how we do it, and give them a good example of what you do. Give them a little highlight sheet of your stats. If you have analytics, show them the analytics. Here's our reach. Here's what we have for sponsorships already. Here are some of the other amazing guests we've already had. Yeah, name drop some guests to let them know what you got for a show. So craft that compelling pitch. Very, very important. Now, you also do want to do your research. You want to make sure you do amazing research so that people are the right people for your show. Let me tell you about this. You want to be able to target, know who do you want for a guest. Don't just take anybody. And we all do this. I've done it. We all do it in the beginning, but we want to get our show going. We're in such a hurry to get our show. We are so passionate about our show. We want to have it go off without a hitch. But then we don't always aim for the highest, best guest. Spend your time on your own market research, on yourself, on your goals. Who's your target? You hear that with all social media. You hear that with everything all the time. But now think about what type of guest do you want? Now, I work mostly with media people. They're producers, they're writers, they're directors, they're authors. People that are in the media realm are the people that I intentionally, keyword, target. I don't just ask anyone to be on Rock the Stage show. 2 p.m. live, I pivot. I use that in a different way, but mostly Rock the Stage show is pivoted at media centric people. Just the past week, again, we had Mark Sakri, award winning writer, producer, director. He's written with many different networks about all of Hollywood, some of your favorite cartoons, TV shows. That was an intentionally targeted research to go find people like that. And more, you want to be able to stay in that same zone. What is the people that you want to reach and connect to? And then not just who your guests are going to be, who do you want to talk to? What's your audience that's going to hear that and find that? You have to mirror those two together. You have to have your guest be very targeted, who you want to have, and then you want to know who's going to be the audience to watch that, to listen to that. Make sure you connect those two together incredibly strong, but that's where you got to do your demographics. You got to do your research. Look at other shows, see who they're having, what's successful and what's not successful for other people. Do some research, do some polls, do some questions. Some early market research will help you figure out which direction you want to go with your show. So take the time. It's valuable. It's important. It will help you do a world of difference. Now, I'm going to give you a tip here that it sounds like basic 101, but we don't do it enough. Leverage your own network. Most of the time, the guests you're looking for are 1 or 2 steps away from being connected to you. You know, remember that Kevin Bacon, 6 steps of separation from Kevin Bacon? I did that back in the day, and I got the Kevin Bacon in 4 steps. Kind of strange it works out that way, but when you're in the media space, when you're in the space, whatever your target is, if you're an author and you want to get to Mark Victor Hansen, if you want to get to John Clancy, whoever you dream of getting to, start thinking about your network and who's connected to who and who might make that connection to get to your ideal guest. It's amazing that your network is more rich than what you realize. And we all downplay our network because we get to know people. We just get to have fun with them. We enjoy what their content is. We enjoy what they're doing. We enjoy the business angle. And we often forget to stop and ask, hey, I'm looking for a guest for my show. I like to have someone in the media area. I'd love to have a writer, a producer, a director. What is it for you? What do you want to have? Start asking the people in your network. Hey, I'm looking for the world's best Ferrari expert. Do you know of anyone that deals with Ferraris or high-end cars? Whatever it is, start asking your network. And by the way, offer the same back for them. When you're working with your network, you're probably going to run into others that have TV shows and podcasts, and they're trying to leverage and amplify their brand. Intentionally ask them, what can I do for you? Who can I introduce you to? And I'll give you another bonus tip on this. Be specific. If you ask, or if someone asks you in your network, how can I help you? What can I do for you? Don't give a vague answer of, well, I'm looking for a really good guest. No. Tell them specifically. Give them names of examples. I mean, I would love to have the head of Pixar on Rock the Stage Media. I would love to have him on Rock the Stage show. I would love to talk to the creative minds behind Pixar. I would love to have the director of the John Wick films because it's very creative. It's exciting. New technology is being put in. Be very specific when you use your network and you ask to open up the door. And do the same thing. When you offer somebody else to leverage your network, your contact, don't let them off the hook with that easy answer. Raise the temperature a little bit. Hey, you know what? I know you're kind of looking for this, but who would you dream of? Who would you want to go talk to? Now, you're not saying you're going to make it happen, but at least you're opening up the conversation because somebody may know somebody that knows somebody. And believe me, that's how some of my best guests have come about. It's not that I had the inside track. Someone else knew somebody else, and it was at 6 degrees of separation. And these guests are amazing. So level up your list, level up your dream list of who you want to have to come on and be a part of your show. By the way, you do want to respect people's privacy. This is a huge tip for you. If you're going to have rock star A-list guest on, do not approach as a fansy. Show appreciation. Yes, you should be thankful. be gracious, but respect privacy. Often, when you get to the higher profile, higher level people, they will have an aide, an assistant. They will have someone that does the booking for them. So you're going to want to get to the top person, but they're going to have a gatekeeper. That gatekeeper is your best friend. If you're working a long-term deal, find that gatekeeper's email, find an address, a PO box, and send them a gift. It works. Believe me. You do it with corporate secretaries. If you're in the executive space and you want to get to know that head executive that may have an opening coming, send a gift to their gatekeeper, to their assistant, and it will make them more willing and more excited to receive your next phone call, your next email. It's silly, but it works. This is where you need to be respectful of the barriers of what they want to have. Now, I've talked about this before. I do have emails, phone numbers, private contact information that I have worked with, but they're not public knowledge. No one's getting that list. And I guarantee that to my people that I work with. Thank you for trusting me, but this is not going anywhere. You want to respect privacy because that will be known as something you will be known for when you want to reach out to higher levels. You may go back to that rockstar guest. You may reach back out later and say, man, I'd love to have you back on the show again. Most times they had a good experience. They'll say yes. And at the same time, you're going to say, hey, by the way, do you know of anyone else? I'm trying to connect with blank. And they may go, you know what? I may have an in for you. And part of the reason that is because they know you respect the privacy. They know they can trust you with a contact of high valuable and high influence. Work on this to help grow and build your brand and your shows. Show running is exhausting. I do my show every week. Rock the Stage Media Show is every week, been going for 4 years now. We're celebrating 4 years of Rock the Stage Show. And of course, then 2 p.m. is a different beast in itself right now. But we're going higher and higher with what we want to do with Rock the Stage. The overall goals and dreams have not been hit. So we are still reaching, knocking, connecting, and taking our time to do this. And by the way, have a great system to promote your guest. Spend some time with an easy access landing page. Again, Canva is free. You could pay for Canva, but Canva is very free. You can make great thumbnails. You can make many posters. You can write blogs about your guests and they're upcoming. Let them know you're going to elevate them and promote them and be creative with it. Stay with their brand, stay with the message, but elevate them in a way that they know, you know what, I'm not just going to appear on the show. It's not going to be a quick little slough off. You're going to do your best to elevate them and showcase them as the rock stars that they are. How are you doing with show running? How are you doing with securing the guests you want to have? Securing the high-profile rock stars and celebrities for your podcast or your TV show is really multifaceted. It's not a one-dimensional thing. You can't just send an email out and boom, you get these people. You've got to do your research. You got to be really strategic about it and very intentional about it. You got to have that enthusiasm, work the list and work their calendar. I can tell you stories where I've had guests and they said, yes, yes, yes. But they always have to move the line. They got another acting gig, got another speaking gig. I had one individual, literally their house got flooded. No lie. So you have to be flexible to work with these people that you want to have. And when that happens, that will be another respect level. People will know you're trustworthy. You're a great host. You're a great showrunner. And you can grow your show and raise it. Because we all know the higher level guests, the higher profile guests, the more will help you grow and scale and build your podcast, your TV show. By the way, if you want to see a great interview from this week, I'm going to show you and give you the chance to go hit the QR code. We had Mr. Sci-Fi on this week, Mark Securi. Mark is a Hollywood producer, director, writer. He has done so many different things. New project is called Space Command. This is the show from Wednesday night. One of those high-profile guests. We worked the connections. We made a great connection, and we had a dynamite show. Go check it out. Listen in on our conversation, and may it inspire you to help you to go pursue the people that you want to go get. Make that list, dream big, and have fun getting the people that you want to have appear on your shows. And that's going to do it for today. I'm the Trigger, Rich Bontrager. If you ever have questions, always send it to rich@richbontrager.net or just visit rockthestagemedia.com. We'll see you back here Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, live